Hey, everybody. Hello. Hello. How are you? Welcome back. All right. We are going live on YouTube. Hello. Greetings, everyone. Hi. Here we are. Hello. And I just wanted to greet you all and say hi. Tonight, Tool Tip Tuesday. Here we are, the first week of April 2023. And I have a Fordham Flex shaft to hold you, or to show you, and to hold. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that make my life a lot easier that are awesome, fun, to make my work go a lot smoother. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I've got a couple of things that seriously have made my life so much easier when it comes to using this particular tool, the Fordham Flex Shaft. So if you, I know there's lots of questions. Sometimes these can be super intimidating for people that are new to working with jewelry or working with Fordham Flex Shaft at all. But here in the studio and at my regular job, the bench jeweler job, I'm using this holder and the speed control, every day. So for me, these two things are extremely helpful, as is my trusty companion, Simon the dog, who's just sitting back here in the shadows. There he is. Hi, Simon. So let me show you a little bit about why this works and why it's kind of awesome to use. So the thing that I like best about it is the hammer or the handpiece here. I've got a number 30 handpiece that fits right into this little adjustable holder. So this can clamp on to your bench or your bench pen, which I usually use my bench pen, and it can swivel and adjust the height, all you need. So this is great for whatever surface you're working on. It works really well. The number 30 handpiece comes standard with just about every Fordham Flex shaft that they make. You can get different handles, of course. So this is not great for holding the quick change handles, but it is perfect for holding this. And this in particular is great for some of the things I'm going to show you tonight. So I'm going to be just demonstrating a little bit of sanding with this. The other thing that I've got for this, and I use all the time, is the belt sander. So when I'm doing a lot of pieces at one time, this becomes really helpful. I've got pieces that I am doing cut burring the ends on. I am sanding. I am trying to get a seam closed perfectly. And this really takes a lot of the work out of it for me for a couple of reasons. The holder itself makes it really easy because I can just clamp it onto my bench pen like I am now, and then I can adjust the height to wherever I need it. I've got a couple of different dust collectors that would be in the way for me to show you at the moment, but I usually have a dust collector right behind this. The tool that I have in here is a double-sided sanding disc. So for things like sanding the seam on a ring, it's really easy just to get it either side to sand. But instead of doing the oh, hello, Misty. Hi, how are you? So instead of doing the foot pedal, which can be a little tough sometimes, the speed dial is great because you can just set it to the speed that you want, keep it at the speed that you want, not have to reset it or repress the pedal every time. So for me, this makes it really easy if I have cut through a seam or sawed a seam and I want to get perfect solder seam. So clipping, that can be fine. Sawing can be even easier to get a really perfect solder seam on a ring like this. And using a little sanding tool like this works great. So I'm going to switch my camera so you guys can see how easy this actually is. And let me flip my camera here over to my little document camera so you can see. There we go. So this has a little sanding surface on both sides, and I can adjust the speed. So with this, I can just take my ring, which is split right there, and just put it on either side of my sanding surface. And now I've got perfect little sanding joint or soldering joint. So this will be absolutely invisible when I solder it together. And even if you cut it at an angle, this will get you nice and straight and clean. So now, if I have lots and lots of pieces, this makes it easy for me just to go to the next piece. So the speed controller here, I know that for what I'm going to be doing, I could actually mark this on my speed controller at the speed that it's at right now, if I know that that's where I'm going to need it most of the time. So anyway, yeah, just make sure you turn it off. If you leave it at that low speed, you can see it sort of creeping along and you don't want to do that. So make sure you turn it off. The other thing that I like, I'm just going to drop this down a little bit, is the belt sander. And the other thing that I use this with a lot are my cutlers. So if I'm cutting a ton of earring wires, this thing with the speed controller saves my wrist. It saves the day for that stuff. But this little belt sander from Fordham works great. So this just makes it nice if I'm doing a ton of sanding and I want to maintain a constant speed. It comes with an adapter, and it's just the Fordham flex shaft. Go to fordham.com or .net, excuse me. There we go. Make sure that's installed properly. Oops. Ooh, back here. Take my key, tighten it down on the back. So there's a little just X key on that. And we're good to go. So make sure that's nice and tight. And there we go. So now I have a little belt sander installed, which is going to be really helpful. Get the camera adjusted here so you guys can see a little bit better. There we are. So yeah, so all I have to do is set my speed dial and let it go. So with this, if I need to sand an edge, get something kind of flat, right? Flatten out my edges this way. If I'm working on whatever it is, this can do my sanding for me. So if I'm removing screws or sanding the ends of wires, this makes fast work of everything. If I'm trying to taper a wire or round the ends of my wires, this goes so much faster when I've got something to hold the flex shaft for me. And it really just turns it into a very practical tool. If I'm sanding the ends flat, I have a nice flat end here, so I can pop a piece and get a nice flush end on it. So this works really well. The other thing I do to adapt this, I've got a little piece of chamois on the outside here. There it is, right over here. So I put a little rouge on that, or tripoli or whatever I need. And that way I've got like a little quick buffer that I can use on the end. And that'll shine things up if I need to. But anyway, yeah, so this just keeps it going at the same speed. I don't have to worry about pressing a pedal and maintaining it. And it just makes things really simple and easy. And again, just make sure you turn it off. And this just plugs into the flex shaft. It's just a really simple connection. And then I can just unplug it and plug it back into my pedal when I need it. So yeah, that just makes everything, my life, really easy when I'm working with my flex shaft. So the other thing that I would tell you, hello, Robin, hello, is that if you are having any wrist problems, if you have carpal tunnel, if you're having a hard time, holding stuff for a long period, this can have a lot of vibration to it and can be really hard on your hands, especially if you're doing a lot. So what I can say is this will completely help with not having to hold on to the flex shaft the entire time. The other thing that I would recommend is that, I've been working with these for a while, but the real importance of it sort of came to me one day when I was working in teaching a class, and I had one of my students who is paraplegic taking class, and he actually brought in his own controller and plugged it into the flex shaft. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's just brilliant. Finding a solution for, not being able to physically press the pedal and being able to use the controller for somebody who doesn't have access or ability for the pedals. So if you've got whatever physical difference that you may have, this can help, or whatever, impairment you may have with your wrist or just working with it for a long time. These two things together are just, I got to tell you, make my life really a lot easier. So if you are, if you have any questions about that, both of these are available from Fordham. I'm not a sponsor, but I would tell you that I would be if I had the opportunity. The holder is one of the things that I have had for a very long time, and the belt sander I found out about at work, and as my boss was demoing it to me, I had it in my cart at Rio, like before he finished showing me how to attach it. So this is a brilliant little belt sander. But like I said, I use it with the cup burrs all the time for finishing the ends of wires. It is so much easier when I've got the just a cup burr in place instead of the sanding belt. So if you don't know what cup burrs are and you're finishing all of your earring wires by hand, good luck. I may just be about to blow your minds. So with your cup burr, put your cup burr in, get some speed going. Ooh, speed there. There we go. So let's get your cup burr in there. And if you've got wire, whatever your wire gauge is that you're trying to finish the end on, the cup burr should fit over the end of the wire easily. It shouldn't be too big for the wire. And if it's too small, you're going to have some problems as well. So you want to have a wire that is flush cut for this before you do your end finishing. And I always use a little bit of burr life when I'm using my cup burrs as well. A little liquid burr life works really well for that, instead of the waxy stuff, because this I can just dip in, get it looped up, and it'll last me a really long time. And I will switch over again here so you can see what this looks like. A little close up. There we go. There we go. So the cup burr, you want to have a burr here. Let's see, right there. Here we go. So you want your burr to fit over the end. Get a little close up. There we go. So you want your burr to fit over the end of your wire easily. There we go, like that. And it should be able to like roll around the end without hanging up. If it hangs up, you may end up clipping the entire wire, notching it inadvertently. I'm using a twin cut, which is a little bit different than the inverted burrs. I like these because they act like little pencil sharpeners, and they will sharpen around to the end of a wire really quickly. So for this, here we go. What I do is set the cup burr in there. Right one, there it is. Just tighten that down. Get a little bit of burr life on there. That. Down here so you guys can see this a little bit closely. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there it is. So all I'll have to do now is turn on my speed dial, and I can keep it at this speed while I'm finishing all my wires. You can see it just strip off the end, and look how round and clean that is that quick. So I love this thing. So yeah, so if I'm having to clean up the ends of wires, just having this set and then go to the next wire. A lot of times I'm doing 100 wires at a time, and this just, like I said, makes my life go so much easier because I don't have to hold on to the flex shaft, and it saves me time rather than picking it up and putting it down, and just like continue on doing my wires. So anyway, then when I'm done, again, just turn my speed dial off and make sure you turn it off so it's not just running. And there you go. Take out my burr. Always take out the burr before you walk away. I have had so many times where I've caught my sleeve, caught my hand on the cut burr, and it hurts. And not just me, but people at work, everybody I know has done that at least once, and usually doesn't do it again after that because it really smarts. So here we go. So yeah, the forearm flex shaft attachment for your handle, number 30 handle with the vise to hold it, and the speed dial, again, make my life so much easier. So there you go. You like that idea, Robin? Yay, thanks. Hello, Unspeakable. Hi from Massachusetts. Hello. So yeah, we'll shout out to everybody. Hello. Misty and Robin, and yeah, hit that like button. And if you are a subscriber and you're following us and you get the alerts, we're live every Tuesday at about 6:30. So I'm usually here at 6:30. If I'm not, I will be soon. So this month we've got this April, which is Earth Month. We've got a bunch of cool stuff coming up. Earth Month centric. We've got Tori, Hoover from Hoover and Strong is going to be joining us. He is one of the people that has all the information about why Hoover and Strong does what they do with their recycling programs, why their metal's recycled, about Harmony Metal, and things that you can do in your own studio to reduce the waste and to recycle your metal. So join us for that. Also, Wendy Wollenberg is going to be joining us, and she's an amazing jewelry designer. She has is part of the Ethical Goldsmiths Society, and they are working in ways that really help reduce the amount of gold mining and things, and making people aware of where your gold comes from and how to be responsible about using it and being having sustainable practices in your studio. Also, we've got Renee Ford is going to be joining us and talking about Hold It clay later in the month too. And we've got a recycling class, recycling and alloys metal class coming up. So looking forward to that. So if you have any questions, email us, let us know, check out the upcoming classes and see what we've got going on. We've got some wax carving for stone setting. We've got PMC this weekend. We've got setting up your home studio this weekend. So if you're in a situation where you are evolving your studio, trying to get things set up properly, have some questions that you need some solutions for, a little brainstorming, join us this weekend for that. And like I said, Helen's going to be doing the PMC class from London and doing a little intro to that. So if you want more information, like I said, give us a shout. Little Metal Foxes. Check out our website, and yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday at 6:30. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later. Have a great evening. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you later.